On today's video, we're going to be replacing this kitchen sink and we're going to be installing a single basin kitchen sink. If you do have a dual angle stop underneath your kitchen sink, I would recommend turning them off. So right now, this is the cold side. This is the ice maker up top, and this is going to be the supply that goes to the faucet. We turn both angle stops off. We're going to do the same thing here on the hot side, and we're turning off both supplies. One will be for the dishwasher, and the other one will be the water supply to the hot side on your faucet. Once you turn off your water supply, we're going to loosen our supply lines for our faucet. So you'll have one that is going to be for the cold and one that is going to be for your hot. At this point, we only have the supply lines for our faucet removed. This is our faucet. And these are our lines. Now we're going to unplug our garbage disposal and our dishwasher. Here we have our P-trap. We're going to loosen that connection, and this is what's going to connect to the garbage disposal. Go ahead and remove the P-trap. Next, we're going to have to disconnect our air gap. Take the cap off. Remove the washer nut. Now we're going to loosen our clamp that connects our dishwasher hose to our air gap. At this point, we turned off the water supply on our angle stops to our faucet. We disconnected our supply lines from our faucet to our angle stop. We unplugged the garbage disposal and the dishwasher. We removed the piping underneath the sink, and now we have the P-trap separated from the rest of the piping that ties into the garbage disposal, and we've removed the air gap as well. Depending on the make and model of your kitchen sink, there may be clips underneath that are securing it to the countertop. We should be able now just to simply lift out the sink from the countertop. I do have the garbage disposal connected, so it will be a little bit heavy. If you're not comfortable, you can remove the garbage disposal. And right now, I'm just simply going to pull it up. The only thing I need from this old sink is going to be just the garbage disposal. I'm going to be putting in a new faucet, and we're going to be putting in a new incinerator drain. Remove it, you're just simply twisting it off. Here I'm going to remove the clamp that secures this hose to my garbage disposal. Having a hard time removing the hose, just take your blade and score it right at the tip. At this point, we're ready to proceed with the install. First thing we're going to do is we're going to connect our garbage disposal drain. We have to remove this ring that goes around this bracket, and the only way to do that is to loosen the screws on all three sides. You're going to work your screwdriver inside, and you're going to pop the ring. Here, I'm just putting plumber's putty around the rim of the drain. Now what I'm doing is I'm just applying pressure to the incinerator drain, and this is just kind of helping it bond to the putty. Here, we flip the sink upside down. And now we reattach the ring. To secure it, we're going to tighten all three sides. This portion of the video will vary, obviously depending on the make and model of the kitchen faucet. So I would just recommend at this point, whatever you do purchase, go ahead and installing it. This is how it looks underneath. I already made my connections. This faucet actually does come with supply lines already. If yours doesn't, you will have to attach your supply lines as well. Now we're going to install our clips to the bottom of the sink. And these particularly just slide right in. There's a little slot provided. And it just slides right in. This is going to be the underneath of the cabinetry, the countertop where I'll be making my connections. I only really have space here on the sides. I don't have a lot in the back, and you can see here, I don't have anywhere to support in the front. So I'll most likely just put 2 clips on this side and 2 clips on the other side. You're gonna have to look underneath your countertop to see where you have clearance. Here I have my faucet. This is going to be my fixture, the supply lines that come from my faucet. And I'm just basically going to make my connections here since I have open space, and I'll just connect it to the angle stops. Unable to make your connections at the top, you can always do it underneath the sink. Just make sure when you're making your connections from your supply line to your angle stop that the hot is on the hot side and the cold is on the cold. What we're going to do is we're just going to even out our sink, make sure it's even on both ends, on the back and on the front. And now we'll be able to tighten our brackets underneath the sink. Securing your brackets will vary. So here I just have my extension. This is for my multi screwdriver of the sink and the bracket. This part will vary. On these, I just basically connected my multi screwdriver bit into my drill, and now I'm simply able to just go right in and tighten it down. And I'll do this on all 4 brackets. Now the sink is nice and secure. Here we have our packaging, and this is what we're going to use to allow our garbage disposal to drain into the P-trap. Make sure you put your nut and then your washer. Just make sure obviously the washer's in the correct position. You want the diameter on the bottom to decrease. And this is just so when we tie it in, the skinny end will slide into the pipe and secure it from any leaks. At this point, we're going to connect our garbage disposal and slide it into the P-trap. Once you get it on the bracket, you're going to twist it to lock it on. You don't have to over torque it when you're tying in your P-trap. We're going to connect our dishwasher drain to our air gap. Now we're going to connect our hose that goes to our garbage disposal. Just make sure that you measure out the length that you need. Obviously, depending on the make and model, this is going to vary. And now we're going to connect our other side of the hose to the air gap. Now we're going to feed our air gap from the bottom through the sink to the hole that is provided. Now we're going to tighten down the nut, put our air gap cap on. Plug in your garbage disposal and your dishwasher. Turn on your water supply to your faucet. Now we're going to fill up our sink with water. We're basically just doing this to check for leaks. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pull my stopper, and then I'm going to check underneath to make sure that we don't have any leaks present. Lastly, you'll want to take some silicone or caulking and just put it around the seam where the countertop and the sink meet. If this video was a help, if it was informational, please subscribe.